So, what is your name and which shed are you from?
Jeffrey White from Peach Community Workshed in Bridgewater in Tasmania.
And what do you like most about being in a men's shed?
Being a supervisor now for 9 years, and the assistance we give to kids at risk mainly. These are kids that don't necessarily fit into mainstream school but need a lift up with our mentoring program at the shed. I find that very rewarding because these kids are usually the worst kids in the school, and they either have no family as in parents or come from single parent families. Some of them are even in a boys' home, and we do lots of woodwork, mentoring, small engine repairs with these children. Now we've taken 4 nursing homes on. We've taken the elderly gentlemen out of the nursing home into a workshop where they make prefabricated wooden either toys for their grandkids or implements to take back to their nursing homes. We have intellectually disabled people there that have never done any woodwork in their life, and if you get a chance to Google our website, you see the great work that these people are capable of in the hands of the right people.
Jeffrey, could you give us maybe an example, and I'm sure you've got heaps that come to mind, an example of how you've seen your men's shed, Pete's men's shed, make an impact on an individual? If you would give me an individual example.
Well, there's many stories, but the one that comes to mind is 5.5 years ago, a mum brought her 12-year-old son to Pete's shed and said to me and John, I want Josh to learn woodwork, carpentry and joinery. I said, fine, we'll take Josh on 2 days a week. Josh is a homeschooled child. 4.5 years later, that boy, who never missed 2 days a week at the shed, is now doing a course with the Rosny College in carpentry and joinery. All he wanted to ever be was a carpenter and a joiner, and that's a big success story. We've had people with acquired brain injuries who've actually got paid employment through participating at the shed for 2.5 years or more. At our shed we have quite a number of people that come suffering depression or a form of mental illness, and one of the big things that we work on is social isolation. A lot of people might have their own little workshop set up at home and they tinker away at their push bikes and make wooden furniture, but they haven't got the men around them that we've got in a men's shed. Well, men can talk one-on-one to each other.
And you mentioned to me earlier that not only about some of the change that you've seen in the way of thinking of, aged care homes since you've started to have results. Could you just tell me a little bit about that, some of the changes you've seen there in their way of thinking?
12 weeks ago we had an aged care home visit the shed, and a man suffering Alzheimer's disease came out in a wheelchair. Wasn't very responsive at all. Worked at the shed with us, went back home to the nursing home, and a fortnight later that nursing home was due to come to the shed again. The support staff came to me before they got out of the bus and said, I want to show you something. And here's the same guy that a fortnight ago was very down and depressed and about to go into respite care. He walks out of the bus. He walks into the shed unaided with a dirty big smile on his face. And that means $1 million to me. That's because he attended Pete's shed. Yep.
And last night there was a dinner here for this conference, obviously, and Pete's shed was a recipient of an award. That's right. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
That was because of our working with youth program. Now, You've got to realise we've now been going for 10 years, and in that 10 years we've had hundreds of kids from all various backgrounds pass through Pete's Shed. But the award is not particularly for John and myself. We love doing what we do, but it's for the 10 volunteers that back us up. You know, I can't handle 60 people on my own a week, but the 10 volunteers that are sort of volunteer supervisors, they'll drop what they're doing, come over with the nursing home people, all the kids at risk, do up push bikes, do woodworking, and it's them. They deserve the award. I've been there, done that all my life, particularly through ambulance. But it's the volunteers that deserve these awards, and I congratulate them all.